Hey guys, this is Vegan Challenge Week Day 7. So we finally finished the challenge. I had a lot of fun filming these videos for you guys, and if you like them, if you like seeing healthy meal ideas, maybe we can start doing these videos more often, maybe like once a week or something, so let me know. Alright, so this morning I'm going to start off with filling my Hydro Flask. This is the 32 ouncer full of water, and then for breakfast I'm going to have sliced apricots and strawberries, and then I made this whipped cream. It's coconut whipped cream, and so I'll show you how to make that later on in this video. So I just added a little dollop of the coconut whipped cream on top of the apricots and strawberries, and it is so delicious. It makes a really good breakfast, you know, just kind of a little starter breakfast to get you going in the morning. And then I'm going to make a green juice, so I'm adding some ice, just a large handful of ice into my blender. I added a little bit of water too, and then I'm throwing in an apple and cucumber, and then I'll add in a handful of baby kale and spinach. And then we'll do a few little tiny pieces of ginger and some parsley and then some mint, and last but not least we'll do like a quarter wedge of a lemon. And this is actually the recipe that Whole Foods makes here. It's the Maca Wild Mint that I showed you guys yesterday, but yesterday we juiced it, and this is the smoothie version. So either way, you can use a juicer or a blender. It works either way. Alright, so I just have it turned on high, and then I turn it off and it whips pretty quickly. It's really good, but the trick to doing a green smoothie, I feel like, is making sure it's really cold. So I really like to have it chilled and add a good big handful of the ice, and then add just a little garnish of parsley on top. And that is going to be the start to my morning. And then I do have to work a little bit in the morning, and then I'll come back and then have kind of like a brunch or sort of mid-morning snack of some granola. This is the chai granola that we made yesterday, so I just add some banana slices and a little bit of almond milk. So this chai granola recipe that we made yesterday with the date paste, usually I'll have that in the fridge in an airtight container, and it'll last me about 2 to 3 days, so it's just in there ready to go whenever you want. And then we're going to make this sun tea with this organic India Tulsi and Moringa tea. So I'm just cutting off the tea bag strings, and I'm going to drop a few in there. I think I used 4, but I'm going to add a couple more. So I have a total of 6 cups of filtered water in my jar and 6 tea bags. And I'm just going to shake that around a bit, make sure all the air bubbles kind of come out of the tea bags, and then I set it out in the sun, and it's blazing sun today, so it should heat up nicely. So I leave it out there for about 4 hours. And then once the tea is just about done steeping, I'll pick out some fruit. I'm going to be infusing some citrus in this, so I'm just slicing up some orange, lemon, and lime. And then, be sure to remove any of the seeds too, because you don't want those in your tea. So I'm just slicing those up, and look at these. These are like gorgeous gems. They are so beautiful. I love citrus, and I just think they always look so pretty when you slice them open. Look at that. Oh, and they're so juicy. Alright, so the tea is done. I'm going to take that inside, and I let that, kind of cool down a bit, and then I'll remove the tea bags, and then add some ice to my pitcher. Just a good handful of ice, good couple of handfuls of ice, and then pour my tea in. And then we can add our fruit. So I'm just adding all the slices of orange and lemon and lime. And if you want, you can pop this in the fridge and chill it even more, or you can drink it right away. So it's totally up to you, but it's ready to go right now. So I'm going to be pouring it into my glass, and this is going to be delicious. Like I said, you don't need any sweetener for this tea. It's really good on its own, just that combination of the moringa along with the citrus. And I like the combination of the orange, lemon, and lime, all three together make it really nice. And this moringa tea is also infused with lemongrass in the tea bags themselves, so it's extra tasty. It has that nice lemongrass flavor to it, nice little bit of tang, and it's also high in B12, which is awesome too. So it makes a great sun tea, iced tea, or hot tea. And then for lunch, I was craving a big plate of raw vegetables, so I wanted to have some broccoli. Broccoli is one of my favorite vegetables, and I'm having them all with this edamame hummus, this Eat Well brand. It's really tasty. It has roasted red pepper in there also on top, and some sesame seeds. And then the other vegetables I'm having, I have some sliced cucumber in there and some mini peppers that are really tasty too. So I'm going to start off with this for lunch, and then I also have some purple sweet potatoes that I want to cook up too today. Alright, so here they are. These are the Hawaiian sweet potatoes. They're purple inside. They take a little longer to cook, so my favorite way to cook these is actually just to peel them and then cut them into cubes and then boil them for 30 minutes. And then once they're done, I just drain all the water and then I mash them. So just pour them in a bowl and then just take a fork and just mash them up, and then I'll add a little bit of either almond milk or coconut milk. I'm using coconut milk today. The coconut milk does make it a little richer, so if you don't want it as rich, you can always use almond milk or something else. And then I'm adding just a pinch of salt and cinnamon, and I'm just stirring that in. And you could also add other spices too, like nutmeg would be really good with this recipe as well. Alright, so it's hot, it's fresh, it's ready to serve, and it's high in antioxidants, so it's really good for you. And purple sweet potatoes are actually one of my favorites to eat. I absolutely love these, so I eat them whenever I get a chance. And you can bake these also, but keep in mind they do take a lot longer. If you don't bake them for long enough, they will have a drier kind of consistency. So when you're cooking these potatoes, just be sure to cook them for long enough. Alright, so now I have 2 cans of coconut milk. These are full fat coconut milk. I had them chilled in my fridge for days now, but you can chill them for overnight in your fridge and they'll be ready to go. And then you just scoop out that top layer of cream. So these are full fat coconut milk. The leftover liquid part, I just pour it into another jar and save that, because you can use it in smoothies and other recipes. Oh, and make sure you don't shake those cans of coconut milk before you get started, because you want it to remain separated. I'm also going to use about a tablespoon of maple syrup, and then vanilla extract, about a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And then just grab your mixer, start out on low, bump it up to high, and blend it out for a few minutes. It's going to whip up really nicely. It's going to start to form little stiff peaks, and then once that happens, you're done. So you can just scoop it into a container, chill it in the fridge while you're making whatever else you're going to use it on. So I'm going to be making chai, and we're going to do a vanilla chai. So I'm going to take 2 tea bags and drop that into my cup, and then pour my hot water. So it was like simmering water. And then these are the spices I'm using: cinnamon, ginger, cardamom. We're also going to use some cloves, and cinnamon sticks are optional. And then vanilla extract, maple syrup, B grade, and I think, oh yes, our tea infuser for the cloves. And if you have any other whole spices, you can use those too, and just drop that into your little tea infuser. And I just set that in the water. And then I start adding my spices. So I'm adding my ginger, cinnamon, cardamom. My cloves are already in the tea infuser. I just kind of use that to kind of stir it around a bit. And then I let it steep for about 5 minutes. It says about 3 to 5 minutes. And then remove the tea bags and add in a little bit of vanilla extract and your maple syrup. Stir that around, and you can add in some almond milk. Makes it nice and creamy. And then you can add your coconut whipped cream, your homemade coconut whipped cream. Yes, indeed. It is light, it's fluffy, it has that coconut goodness, and then just kind of swirl that spoon around, give it a nice sort of texture on top, add a little bit of cinnamon. And then you can take the cinnamon sticks. I'm just going to take 2 of those. This part's optional, but if you have them, it's kind of nice. You know, it looks nice. It's a nice little garnish to have and looks extra special that way. So it's just a really nice treat. I hope you guys enjoy this. This is one of my favorite ways to make chai at home. And I was a little light on the spices this time. You can definitely almost double the spices that I use. I only use like a little dash or 2 of each, but if you're using fresh, like say fresh ginger or something, then it only takes a tiny bit. But with the powder form of spice, you do need to use a little bit more if you really want that kick. And I also had to show you guys this way of using the coconut whipped cream too, and that's in a piping bag or a decorating bag. So you can just put the coconut whipped cream in there and use it to decorate or add topping to whatever you want. So right now I'm just putting it over this tapioca. It's a coconut tapioca that I made. I actually made this just after I finished the challenge, but I still wanted to show you guys just because it's another way to use the whipped cream. So I'm just using a little bit of toasted coconut on top of that, a little pinch of cinnamon, and then you can use a cinnamon stick as kind of a garnish on the side. And it's just another fun way, another fun idea to use your coconut whipped cream. Or instead of tapioca, you could totally do like a vegan pudding or something. That would be really good. And if you end up having extra coconut whipped cream, you can definitely store that in your fridge for at least up to a few days, or at least that's how long mine usually lasts in there before it's all gone. Alright, now we're on to dinner. I had to start dinner early, so right now we're just washing some brown rice. So Michael's doing that. We're going to be making some vegetarian or vegan sushi, which is going to be really delicious. Okay, so we're just making 2 cups of brown rice. So I'm just setting my rice cooker, turning it on, and about an hour and a half later, it's done. Brown rice takes an extra long time. And so now we're using just some rice vinegar, the Kikkoman rice vinegar, and just kind of folding that into the rice. These are the nori sheets that I'm using, the roasted seaweed. And then I just have my bowl of water, so that helps me to not get stuck to the rice and everything. So I'm just kind of patting out a ball of rice over the nori. And so with the nori sheets, the shiny side is down and the more duller side is up. That's the side that I'm pressing the rice onto. And so I'm going to be using avocado and cucumber slices. So I'm just putting it kind of not directly in the middle, but kind of in the middle of the rice at least. And then we have that edge that doesn't have any, that edge of seaweed at the very end. We're leaving that kind of bare because that's going to need to be, that's where we seal the roll. Alright, and so I'm just rolling it with my bamboo mat, just kind of tightening that up, and then with that little final edge there, I just take a little bit of water and just run that along the side, and that's going to wrap over and seal right to the roll. And so that'll close it off. And by the way, I am by no means a professional when it comes to making sushi or even California rolls. I'm not a professional sushi roller or anything like that. I just really like to eat it a lot, so I always try at home. I do my best, but my knife really sucks. I was just asking Michael right here if I can get a sushi knife, or at least a new better knife to cut that with. And instead of regular soy sauce, I actually prefer this coconut aminos. It's made with coconut tree sap, aged and blended with sun-dried mineral-rich sea salt. So I just pour a little of that into the bowl. I'm also using this pickled sushi ginger. And watch out when you're shopping for ginger, because a lot of it's dyed. So if you see the pink stuff, yeah, it's dyed. It's not good for you. I actually came across one package that said that this may be hazardous to your health. So always make sure to check the ingredients or read the back of the packaging to see what exactly you're actually eating. Alright, so now we're going to do one of those inside-out rolls. I don't know the technical name for it, but it's just where the rice is on the outside. So now I'm going to be pressing the rice pretty good. I'm keeping my hands wet or my fingers wet while I'm pressing that down so I don't stick to the rice. And then I'm just gonna peel that off of my plastic wrap. I use a plastic wrap between whatever I'm working with, my sushi roll and the rolling mat, so that way it doesn't get all over it. So I'm just gonna use the same ingredients, just a few pieces of avocado and cucumber. And I try not to overstuff the roll with the ingredients. I try to just use, kind of a simple amount of items, 2 or 3 ingredients at most. And then I just use the rolling mat to just kind of shape it. And this one I'm going to make into a dome shape. You could do square shapes, round, dome, whatever you like, depending on whatever type of roll that you're wanting to make. And then I just got that little edge wet of the seaweed there, or of the nori wrap, so it could fold over. And now I'm just unfolding it, and I'm wetting my knife, so just to make sure that, rice doesn't stick all over it, although it still kind of does because this knife sucks. Okay. Alright, so now I'm going to just garnish it with some avocado and then the pickled ginger. I love pickled ginger. Yes, I'm a huge fan of pickled ginger with my sushi. And then I have my coconut aminos for a dipping sauce. Alright guys, so I'm gonna let you go. This was the last day of my week-long vegan challenge. I hope you guys enjoyed these videos. I had a lot of fun making them for you, and I really love cooking. I just wish I could have all you guys over so I could just feed you all. Alright, so I'm gonna let you guys go. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!